What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about another frequently asked question in this industry, and it's whether you need a CDL to drive a 24 or a 26 foot box truck for Amazon Relay. Whether you work privately or for a logistics company, this is going to be the same. And I'm here to tell you the answer to that is yes. You need a CDL Class B for the majority of these vehicles. Now, there are some very small box trucks that deliver for Amazon that do not need a CDL. The problem with this is a lot of the logistics companies will tell you that you don't need your CDL to do this. If you look on Indeed or Facebook, you can see a million of these ads right now that say no CDL required. 26 foot box truck for Amazon Relay. No CDL required, just a basic license, sometimes a DOT medical exam and an MVR. Here in a second, I'm going to tell you how to know for sure if you do need your CDL. But before I do that, I'm going to give you an example from experience how these companies really don't care. So my first job driving for Amazon Relay was one of these guys who's seen online, an ad to drive box truck, no CDL required. I'm like, hey, this is perfect. I don't have to worry about going to school for CDL. I don't need to do all the exams and everything. I can just jump right into this truck and start working. And that's what I did. I drove box truck for about 4 months with no CDL. And the logistic company I worked for said, no, that's fine. You don't need it. You don't need it one bit. And I drove for a long time for that company, about 4 or 5 months. And the whole time I'm working there, I'm hearing guys say, oh, do you need your CDL for this? I don't have mine. Or I hear guys saying, you do need your CDL for this. I have mine. You don't have yours? And it was always in the back of my head. Sometimes I'm telling these guys, no, I don't have one. Or, they're freaking out so much, I'm just like, yep, I got mine. And they're like, oh shit, I better get mine too. But it's the reality of it. I mean, a lot of these guys, I would say half of the guys there don't have a CDL. But when it comes down to it, okay, the law is if your gross axle weight rating is higher or equal to 13,000 pounds per axle, which means 26,000 pounds total, then you do need your CDL Class B, okay? And the way you find that is right in the door jamb of the truck you'll be driving. You open the door and it has the GAWR. It's the gross axle weight rating per axle. And like I said, if it's 13,000 pounds or higher, you do need your CDL. Now, for most 24 and 26 foot box trucks, they're rated at 13,000 or higher. And that's why you see all these guys say, well, the law is if it's under 26,000 pounds, you don't need one. And that's the argument I always heard people say. If your truck's under 26,000 pounds, you don't need a CDL. Well, I checked into it. On the DOT website, you can look all this up. I'm not lying. The law actually states that your GAWR, your gross axle weight rating, together cannot exceed 26,000 pounds, which means not how much your truck weighs or how much load you're carrying, but how much you can carry potentially, okay? If this vehicle's rated to carry more than 26,000 pounds or equal to 26,000 pounds, you need a CDL. At least a Class B for these box trucks. And that Class B is going to cover you on other things too, like school buses, coach buses, things like that. You can get multiple jobs in that. But that's just the plain hard facts to it. You'll hear people say, well, in this state, it's different than this state. And the DOT don't play that. Your state might, give or take or whatever, or the state trooper who pulls you over might not know any better. But that's the DOT rules, okay? Now, just to touch base on that, another story from on the road. While I was driving without my CDL, I had another guy in my company who was driving without a CDL. And one day he got a little tired and he's swerving. And he gets pulled over and the state trooper says, well, where's your license? And he hands it to him. He says, you ain't got a CDL? And he said, no. He said, well, I'm going to need you to step out of the vehicle. You're not supposed to be driving this without your Class B. And the guy said, well, the whole spiel, I'm under the impression you didn't need one, blah, blah, blah. It didn't matter, you know. Somebody had to come pick up that truck. They gave him a ride home. He didn't go to jail or nothing. But they gave him a ticket that was pretty serious. You know, it's not driving without a license, and it wasn't as serious as driving a semi without your CDL. But it fell in a middle category where it was kind of serious. And I believe what the option they gave him was, because he classified for it with his license, you know, as long as you don't have too many moving violations, they will give you the option to go get your CDL Class B. And if you go there within a certain amount of days and show them, hey, I went and got it, then they'll throw out the ticket, I believe, or at least lower the fine. But they gave him the opportunity to go do that. Now, I'm not saying they're going to do that for everybody. Like I said, if your MVR, your motor vehicle report, is not good, if you had accidents and tickets within the last 3 years or so, they're probably not even going to really consider you to do it. But that's just the facts of it. I'm not going to let this video go too long. I just want people to be informed because so many people ask this question. And I know when I was getting into it, I checked online multiple times. And on Google, I got mixed responses. And on YouTube, there really wasn't any answers at all. And the answers I did get were kind of mixed responses as well. So anybody who's watching this, I'm going to tell you the definitive answer is yes. You need a CDL Class B for the majority of these trucks, okay? And that's not because of how much it weighs or how much weight you're carrying, because I know Amazon packages, you know, are going to be lighter than certain loads. But what I'm saying is your gross axle weight rating is 26,000 pounds or higher in these trucks, and you can find that in the door sticker. If you want to know, you know, if one of these logistic companies says, no, you don't need it, don't listen to that guy on YouTube, he's crazy. Well, you can look right in the door jamb and you'll see what I was telling you. And you get on the DOT website and you'll see what they're telling you. And the logistics companies don't care, because if you're 1099, it's your fault. It's your problem. You're a self-employed person, you know? Like, this guy can say, I gave him the contract. I figured he was licensed. I didn't know. You know, it's falling on you. It's not going to hurt him at all. All they're going to tell him is, you know, his insurance company will say this guy's not allowed to drive anymore, especially if you get in an accident. So that's just the facts of it. For anybody who might be wondering how much money you'll make in this industry, or how much money you might make driving for a logistics company for Amazon Relay, I made a video a couple weeks back that's been getting quite a few views, so go check that out, and that will tell you how much money you will make driving for Amazon Relay. But if you like this video, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. I'll be covering a couple more Amazon topics in the future, and I appreciate it. Leave a comment if you enjoyed, or if you have any future questions for me, and I try to reply as much as I can. All right? Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time.